a stay so bad, Disney comped us a room for the night.
Yes. So as we mentioned in our little tour of Art of Animation, which will probably be posted the week prior to this, we recently stayed at Pop Century for the half marathon weekend in November of 2021, and it was pretty eventful and had a lot of issues, to the point where Disney reached out to us and comped us a free night in the Value Resort, which we then used at Art of Animation in a Little Mermaid room. So I'll link that video up above if you haven't watched that. But getting into the story of what exactly happened at Pop Century, starting from the very beginning, and part of it is not all on Disney, part of it was just on, we wanted it earlier, but... Well, so they ask you to put in your estimated check-in time, which, because you had an earlier flight and I was going to come to pick you up, we put it in as noon, since I was going to be in the Orlando area fairly close to noon, which I know they can't guarantee it earlier than their check-in time of 3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock is the magic number, keep that in mind. Noon comes and goes, no notification that a room's ready. Totally fine. 3 o'clock comes and goes, no notification. I think around 3:30 or so, I ended up giving them a call to see, like, hey, do we have a room? And I was given a room number. So we thought we had a room at that point. Show up at Pop Century, at Art of Animation, Pop Century, at the security guard check, and they asked us if we were checking in, and we said yes, and they said, do you have a room number yet? And we said yes, because I was given a room number.
Well, they said, you're not coming up.
Yeah.
Here, I can't let you in unless you have a room number, and you said...
That I called and was given a room number.
And it was a young woman at the guard check, and she said, okay, and let us go.
Yes. So we thought we were in the clear at that point. Parked the car, unloaded the car, got all the bags upstairs to our room, which was, I think, on the 3rd floor.
It was in the 50s section of Pop Century.
Yeah, it was not the 1st floor though. It was either the 2nd or 3rd.
Floor.
So got all the bags upstairs, go to the room, and red, not letting us in. So we tried both our magic bands, we tried our phones, nothing was working. So I called them yet again and was told that it's not quite ready yet. And while I was on the phone, now grant you, this is like probably 5:30 at this point.
It's 5 p.m. at least.
Yes. So.
And we're trying to get to a dining reservation.
Yes.
I wanted to clean up before dinner.
Yes, and we had a very lovely dinner at Sebastian's. Not really, but if you want that video, I'll put that one up above as well. Probably our worst dining experience we've had. But yes, so about 5 o'clock or so, we called them again, and while I was on the phone, we noticed
Well, we were standing outside the room.
Yes.
We were standing outside the room that they said was our room number, and you're on the phone, and I've tried to do the thing, or tried to open the door, I'm Googling frantically, like, what do you do if your room isn't ready at 5 o'clock? And then a housekeeper goes in our room.
Right, at 5 o'clock. Now check-in is at 3. We were only staying here for one night, so we already were gonna have the room for less than 24 hours.
Right.
They should not be cleaning the room at 5 o'clock.
And she was in there for less than like 20 minutes.
Yes.
It was super fast.
So how much cleaning they actually did, no idea. Or if it was just like a double check and we were waiting on her to double check, no idea. But granted, that should all happen before the check-in time if we were saying that we were gonna arrive prior to the check-in time.
Well, at the minimum, it should have been ready at 3.
Yes.
That is the check-in time, so the room should have been ready at the check-in time. Whether we were gonna be there at noon or 5 or whatever.
Yeah. So at this point, I was kind of tired of calling them, so we ended up just taking all the bags back into the car and just going to the front desk and talking to somebody.
We're getting in line. We're getting in line.
Very long line.
The people ahead of us had the same issue.
Yes.
In line. We were not the only people doing this. And maybe another party around us too.
I mean, I think the race weekend brought in a lot more guests, so it was just a very busy weekend, and a lot of people in line appeared to be doing the races. But yeah, several people were having this issue. So while we were in line, we probably standing there for maybe 15 minutes, we finally get a text that the room is ready.
So we get out of line.
Yes, and it's the same room that we were standing outside of that I was told hours before. So get out of line, go all the way back up to the room, bring all the bags up to the room, and lo and behold, magic bands don't work. Now, the phones luckily did work, so we were able to get into the room, and at that point, we were just over it and didn't want to deal with them anymore.
Because you called and they said we'd have to go and get in line again.
Yeah, because I called the front desk from the room at that point saying like, hey, magic bands don't work, can you activate them from afar or whatever? And yeah, they said we have to come to the front desk for them to activate, and we have a dining reservation. We're already later than we expected to be at this point because the room wasn't ready.
Well, we just thought we would land, change clothes, hop on the Skyliner, and go to Sebastian's for a lovely dinner.
Right.
So, and then everything just kept
going
getting
wrong,
wilder and wilder.
Yep.
But we were finally in the room. Okay.
Yes.
And we do go to dinner.
Yes, which was not the best dinner experience. So just the whole weekend was just an interesting experience. But
then you got up super early.
Yes, to go to the race. And
did a lovely job.
Had a wonderful time. Enjoyed the race so much. And the one thing with the race is when we double checked several times what time I would be finishing and could get back to the resort. So I drove.
Shower.
Yes.
Because like you ran a half marathon.
Right.
You're like sweaty. You need to bathe.
Yeah. I drove my car to Epcot that morning rather than taking any Disney transportation to ensure that we would have enough time to get back to the room and shower and whatnot. So we get back to the resort around 10 o'clock or so, 10:15, something like that.
Well, it was before that.
Okay.
It was like you were in the bathroom. I had already got my act together for the day really early in the morning before I came out to watch you finish. And so I'm packing up the last minute things in the room. And then there's a knock on the door at like 10 a.m. And a housekeeper is standing outside, and I just opened the door and I can't remember what exactly she said. But basically it was like, you need to leave. And I said, we have the room until 11. And she just stared at me, and I just closed the door. Because I was like, Robbie is in the shower.
Yeah.
So it was one of those like...
It was very weird, just a weird experience, weird stay. And it was odd that they didn't have the room ready on time.
But wanted to get us out of there
at
10 a.m.
So...
And we had the room occupied thing on the door,
yeah.
I think. So it was like... We didn't just accidentally leave it.
Right.
Which I'm sure happens occasionally, but still.
But we were planning, because of the half marathon, I was planning to utilize as much time as possible to just kind of refresh, relax, and leave the room by 11, which is the normal checkout time.
Well, we were like 10:50.
Yeah.
We were just like, he was going to shower, we were going to just pack last minute things and get out.
Yes. So that was pretty much the whole story with Pop Century. Just kind of started off rough, kept getting rough, and then ended on a very sour note.
Well, it was like you barely let us in, and now you're trying to kick us out.
Right. After just running a half marathon, paying Disney all that money for the half marathon, so was not happy. We are not ones to complain, really, ever, but I was just so unhappy with the situation, and
they sent the survey.
And that's how all of it happened.
And you responded to the survey.
Yes. Responded to the survey. Usually we give the highest praise, because our cast members that we interact with on a normal basis are lovely. So always give some good comments on the survey and good reviews. But this one, I was not happy with what our stay was.
Right.
So it was just one night, so not a super long trip, but still less than 24 hours in the room, and we couldn't even have the full time. And
we didn't expect anything.
No, we didn't. No, I gave the survey just so like they don't do it again, more so than anything else.
Right. It was
shocked.
Huge surprise.
Yes, very shocked that I actually received a response.
Even any response.
Yeah.
I was surprised that you got a response saying, I'm sorry that happened.
Yes.
Let alone them saying, we would like to have you back for a one night at a value resort.
Yeah. So ended up cashing that value resort stay in at Art of Animation. Had a lovely stay there.
I don't know that it was fair to compare
No.
the two stays because we got in closer to like 7, 8 o'clock
Yeah.
and left early in the morning. So there was no chance to be like, our room's not ready. But we didn't get a notification for a room number until
Like 4:30.
4:30-ish.
But with this one, I did say that our arrival time, estimated arrival, was going to be closer to 5.
But still, my thing is I'm just like, if check-in is 3, then the room should be ready at 3.
It should. So that is the story with Pop Century and how we got the free night at the Value Resort. But yeah, I know this was kind of a weird video, kind of a more negative video, but we'd like to keep things positive. But
it turned out okay.
Yes, turned out lovely, had a lovely stay at Art Animation. And like I said, didn't expect anything to come of it, but...
And you had a good time running the race.
Yeah, really enjoyed the weekend.
We kept going, what now?
Right. So...
Because it was over and over and over. The room not being ready, bringing the bags upstairs, going down to the lobby, going back up to the room after seeing the housekeeper go into our room and go, it's 5 o'clock, is it not clean yet?
Right.
Just, what? And then the next morning when he's in the shower and I'm alone, and I was lucky to hear the door because they would have just come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's always the weird thing with Disney in the morning, because it's like, you could just be in the shower and they could just come in. Because you don't answer the door when they knock.
Right. So, have not had a lovely experience at Pop Century on our last visit there, but we didn't really review it because it was a very busy weekend, but that is the story.
And we don't like to just say, this visit sucked.
Yeah.
You know, it's not what we do.
Right. We just figured we'd explain how we got the free night for Art of Animation. So, that is what this video is. But that will do it for this little ranting video. We've been ranting for like over 10 minutes now. So, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below if you have had a similar experience, and
let us know what we should rant about in the future.
Yeah, sure.
Like the best movies or whatever.
Yeah, that could be fun.
I don't know.
Sure, why not?
Why our favorite restaurant is the best.
Yes. So, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
See you real soon.